Thanks so much for coming to join us tonight, and we welcome our speaker, Ms. Templeton.
When I look at your faces, I see promise. I see excitement. I see a little fear. It's a little frightening to think about. Now you've got this degree. Where do you go and what do you do? But I see such talent. Each of you have overcome so many challenges to be here, and you've done it. You are all leaders. You're leaders in your lives, you're leaders in your personal lives, and you're leaders in your professional lives. As I look out here, I call this a huge, amazing leadership team. And you've had the help of your faculty to get here, but you're getting ready to go on a new journey. There's lots of doors that are opening up for each of you, and there's lots of challenges. So your challenges are over at this phase, and new doors are opening for you that are going to bring more challenges. Tonight's the time to celebrate. Is there going to be any partying going on tonight anywhere after this celebration? Yeah, wait a minute, sorry, I didn't hear that. Is there going to be any partying going on and any celebrating tonight? Yeah. All right. You've earned it. It's time to celebrate. It's time to be proud of what you've done and then to think about what's ahead of you. So with that, former President George W. Bush Jr. was admittedly a C student in college. So he was presenting to a graduating class at Yale. And he said, to those of you that have honors and awards and distinctions, I really honor you. And he also said, to those of you that are C students, you too may become the President of the United States. Yeah, think about that. Anything's possible. Everything's possible. And I want to share a dream with you guys tonight that's my dream. I don't have a college degree. I'll talk a little more about that. And it was always my dream to stand on this stage. And you have honored me tonight by allowing me to stand on the college stage and have this evening of celebration and your graduation with each of you and your families and your friends and your supporters. Thank you so much for that honor tonight. My story is a little bit different. I made some choices when I was in high school. I had very strong business administration skills. I took something called VOE, Vocational Office Education, and I don't even know if they still have that today. But I was preparing myself for a business career in the business world. I got married at 18 and decided I needed to go to work. So I went on my first real business interview. It was actually at the utility company in Fort Worth, Texas. A little nervous, like I'm sure all of you are going to be a little nervous on those interviews. I walked in and I met this amazing man. His name was Fred Black, who we still keep in touch 43 years later. But he said to me, "You're so very qualified. However, you don't have any experience." So I very professionally looked at him and I said, "Mr. Black, how can I get experience if no one will hire me?" He said, "You know, that's a great point." By the time I got home, my phone was ringing and he hired me that day. That was 43 years ago. I had the opportunity to work for Mr. Black for 4 years. I learned so much. I was a secretary and administrative personnel, and I'll tell you, those skills have kept me going through my entire career. Some things changed and I decided I was going to go back and get that college degree. I quit my job. I was getting ready to enroll in college because my dream was to be an elementary school teacher. That was what I always wanted to do. Things and challenges just did not allow me to do that. So when I left this amazing job. I was getting ready to enroll in college, and my then husband came home and said, "Sorry, things are changing. I don't think we need to be married anymore." So now, within the span of 30 days, my life had gone totally 360 degrees. I was now without a husband, without a job, and without a college degree. Talk about some anxiety. I didn't know what to do. So I did what my mother taught me. My mother's words when things were challenging were always, "Just do it." And guess what? Nike stole that years later and made millions. And my mother's words were, "Just do it." So Mom, you would be happy. Somebody's making a lot of money on the things that you tried to teach us. But so I said, all right, I'm going to start applying. And I applied for a national sales job. They were located here in Fort Worth. There were 50 candidates. I was so excited. I went through all the interviews. I made it to the last 2 candidates. I knew that I had this job. They called me for the last interview, They said, can you come in? And I said, yes, I've got the job. I already knew what I was going to do with my first paycheck. I was going to put a down payment on an apartment so I would have a place to live. So I walk into the interviewing manager's office, which many of you will be doing, walking into the interviewing manager's office. Said, how are you doing? I'm so excited. It's been such a great opportunity. And he said, you know, you were the best qualified candidate we had, but I'm not giving you the job. Talk about stunned and crushed. It was all I could do to not burst into tears in front of this man. And I thought, all right. I was shaking, and I said, why? He said, you're going through a divorce right now, and we don't feel you're stable. And we're going to give it to someone who's married. They could never say that in today's environment, but that was 38 years ago. I said, thank you for the opportunity. It's been a pleasure. I got up. I was shaking. Before I could get out of the office, I burst into tears. I cried all the way home. And I got home and I thought, okay, this is it. My life's changed 360 degrees in 30 days. I don't have a job. And my mother's voice again came back. Just do it. So the next morning I got up. I could hear Mother in the background, just do it, get up, you can do it. I got up, I felt like I had gone 10 rounds with Hulk Hogan in a wrestling match. I was beaten, bruised, battered, and I felt so defeated. I thought to myself, okay, you've got to do this. All of us are going to have those challenging moments. There'll be times when that job opportunity isn't exactly what you want. There'll be times when you feel like you've just done 10 rounds with Hulk Hogan. It was tough, believe me. But you'll feel like that sometimes. But find some words that help you. Some people carry rabbit's feet. Some people have a song that gets them encouraged and has them to move. My words are my mother's words and the Nike words. Abraham Lincoln, even our superhero presidents, always had moments when they needed a boost of self-confidence. He always carried in his pocket news clippings of what people had written about him. So find something that boosts you, so when your confidence gets down or something happens and you get derailed a little bit, think about that. You can certainly use mine. It's the just do it if you want that. So I had to go find another job, and I heard that they were hiring at a legal firm. So I decided I would go down and put my application in. I was living in Fort Worth, Texas. I walked in, I took their application, asked them if they were hiring, and they said they were. Filled out the application. It was everything I could do. My hand was shaking a little bit because I thought, wow, they're making judgment that I'm certainly not qualified for this job. When she looked at my application, she said to me, can you come back tomorrow? We are hiring. I said, absolutely. So I ran out, high-fiving and screaming after I got in the car, except I then realized I had to go find a dress. So I had to go borrow a dress and high heels so I could come back the next day and interview appropriately. That was 38 years ago. I got the job. I started as a secretary at IBM. I was able to take my secretary and administrative skills and go from a secretary at IBM to become an executive. That became my college. I learned everything I'm teaching you and talking to you about today while working at IBM. It was the most challenging opportunity of my life, but it was the most fabulous and amazing opportunity. I did things I never thought I could do. I'd never been on a plane until I went to work for IBM. So the reason I'm sharing my story with all of you tonight is two things. The world is challenging out there, and it's not always going to be like we want, but you guys made it this far. You can do it. You're so much leaders. Just remember what got you here, to overcome the obstacles and to keep moving. I had to dig deep, and remember that you have the determination, and don't let anybody take your dreams, because there are people who are going to tell you no. I used to hate the word no, it's just two letters now, but it's a very powerful 2 letters. So remember, don't let anybody take your dream. So I'm going to give you my secret leadership formula. It's really easy. It's called ramp it up. Anybody ever hear anybody say that? We're going to ramp it up, okay? So let me share with you what R means. R says recognize your own value and your skills and how important you are, so that others will recognize who you are, okay? The second one is A, always take action. Even when things don't look very well and someone says no and a door closes on you, just remember, don't let it get you down. Get back up. Don't take no for an answer and keep going. M is for motivation. Remember about being motivated and encouraged, whatever your song is. Or remember mine, just do it. Remember, get back in that ring with Hulk. All he'll do, it might knock you down again, but get back in that ring because that's important. P is for plan. Always have plan A, plan B. I had plan Z sometimes, but you need to have a plan so that you always are in action. And you are all leaders, so lead with a purpose. So remember, ramp it up. I just want to thank you all so much tonight for this amazing honor to be here with you and your families and your friends. You've done it, you're here. There's such bright futures for each of you out there. I want to thank again Mr. Howard, Dr. Janice, and the entire faculty for having me here. But most of all, for you guys letting me share the stage with you tonight. It's so important to me. So I want to leave you with my favorite quote. And this is something that I think you all can, if I don't fall off the stage, this is something that I think you all can take with you. You have brains in your head. You have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself in any direction you choose. You're on your own, and you know what you know. You're the person who can decide where to go, from Dr. Seuss. Congratulations, and I wish you all the best success.